Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Manish Shrestha. I am from Haryana School of Business, GJ University of Science and Technology, Hisar. Today we are going to talk on module meetings from the paper Business Communication. Let's see what are the learning objectives of this module. First objective is to know the relevance of conducting meetings, to understand the roles and responsibilities of key players in a meeting, to know how to write notice, agenda, and minutes of a meeting, and finally, to know the procedure of conducting a meeting. Friends, a meeting is a group of people coming together to discuss on issue of importance. A meeting serves various purposes, and depending on the purpose of a meeting, we classify a meeting into different types. But first, let's see what are the purposes of a meeting. The first and foremost purpose of a meeting is to give common instructions to a group. Another purpose of a meeting is to save time on communication, because if we have to communicate to many people at a time, then we can call a meeting and share the information with them. Another purpose is to solve a problem. Whenever an organization faces a problem, it is advisable to call a meeting of experts and try to solve a problem. Another purpose of a meeting is to recognize the efforts of the group. Further, a meeting can be called to appraise the situation faced by any organization. Another purpose of a meeting is to get new ideas, to motivate teams, and to resolve conflicts. As said earlier, meetings can be of different types. A type of meeting is dependent upon the purpose it serves. On that basis, we can classify the meetings into three parts. First, information sharing meeting, problem solving meeting, and rejoicing. Information sharing meetings are conducted to share information or to make something clear. In such meetings, information is shared with the members of the meeting. If a member is having any query on the information provided, a clarification is made. The purpose here is to make members learn and understand the issue at hand. In such kind of meetings, no suggestions are invited and no solution is sought. The only purpose is to inform the members and make them understand. Following could be the topics of such meetings, like changes in the purchase procedure, announcement of new marketing strategy, information about company's stand on business ethics, financial planning avenues for the employees, etc. On the other hand, problem solving meetings are conducted to seek suggestions and eventually solving a problem. For these meetings, first the issue is discussed at large and then opinions or recommendations of the members are sought. Then all the recommendations are reviewed on their pros and cons. Finally, committee arrives at a solution. It is not necessary that in every meeting member arrive at a solution. Many a times no decision is made. In such a scenario, another meeting is called at a later date for further discussions and deliberations. Generally, problem-solving meetings are conducted to handle issues faced by the company from daily basis up to 6 months. Some of the topics of such meetings can be fixation of performance appraisal criteria for employees, strike at the company, requirement of training needs for the employees, etc. The third type of meeting are known as rejoicing. The purpose of such meeting is to celebrate the success. During these meetings, few members are praised and honored for their contribution to the organization. Such meetings are conducted to create a sense of belongingness among the members. These meetings are also conducted to motivate the employees. Generally, celebration meetings are casual and informal in nature. Apart from above classification, meetings can also be divided on the basis of compulsion of its conduct, like statutory meetings. Chairperson is one who heads the meeting. If you are appointed as a chairperson, then you are having a responsibility for smooth conduct of the meeting. You have to ensure that meeting serves its purpose. Chairing a meeting requires patience, understanding of the issue at hand, ability to guide the discussion, and sense of humor. A chairperson has to adopt different leadership styles at different point of time to steer the meeting towards a conclusion. An authoritarian style dominates the discussion and praises those who agree with his or her viewpoint. Such situation stops free flow of opinions from members. On the other hand, participative leaders give every chance to all the members to present their views. In such a situation, it takes a lot of time to come to a conclusion. So, as a chairperson, you have to strike a balance between these extreme styles of leadership. It is pertinent that chairing a meeting means handling a group of people. Such group can have members who are poor listeners, arrogant, talkative, and submissive. The chairperson has to ensure that viewpoint of every member is put forward. At the conclusion of the meeting, it is the duty of the chairperson to clearly state the results of discussion, decisions reached, and future course of action. In short, we can say that a chairperson of a meeting has to perform different tasks like planning and making arrangements for the meeting, steering the discussion, enabling the group to reach to a conclusion, creating a plan for proper implementation of conclusion. Members of a meeting and their roles. A person who is invited to attend a meeting is known as a member. Role of a member is equally important as of a chairperson. These are the members who actually contribute with their viewpoints and queries. The effectiveness of a meeting totally depends upon the conduct of its members. To improve the contribution of their members, the members attending a meeting should follow some of the guidelines. Here are some of the guidelines for members during a meeting. It is very important for every member of a meeting to do their homework. Under homework, you have to go through the agenda items thoroughly and develop your viewpoints that has to be discussed during your meeting. Always be punctual at the time of meeting. You have to remember a meeting starts in time, always ends in time. Attitude of the members in a group always matters a lot for a constructive meeting. You have to maintain a positive attitude during the meeting and you have to spread positive energy throughout the members in a meeting. Respect is another important issue during a meeting. Generally, we sometimes get disrespectful to other members' viewpoint. Remember, if you give respect, you will get respect. Under the phone manners, you have to always keep your phone on a silent mode so that you will not face any kind of disturbance during the discussion. As a member, you have to be a good and patient listener to the viewpoints of the other members. Patient listening is always an asset for a member. Always stay on the agenda during the meeting because anything beyond the agenda is considered as rude. Always focus on your body language. Do not point fingers on other members while presenting your argument. It is considered as rude and puts you into a bad light. If you are having any objection to the viewpoint of other members, Always point out that objection to the chairperson. Do not start arguing with that member on that particular objection. Before calling a meeting, it is essential to notify all the members about it. This information must be sent to all the members who have a right to attend the meeting. The proper circulation of the information has to be ensured by the secretary in consultation with the chairperson of the meeting. Such a notice must mention information about the day, date, time, and venue of the meeting. If decided, the agenda items may be mentioned in the notice or attached separately. It has to be ensured that notice reaches all the members within reasonable time before the meeting. Let's have a look at a sample of such meeting notice. In this example, we can clearly see that all the ingredients of a good meeting notice are present. Here, the notice says the sixth meeting of the management committee will be held at 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 7, 2002 at first floor 86 Rani Road, Rewa. It is mentioning the time, date, venue, and the notice is being circulated well in time. In our case, it is 7 days prior to the meeting. A meeting agenda is also considered as a blueprint of a meeting. It states the activities that will take place during the meeting. An agenda provides a guideline for the members to think and prepare about issues to be discussed. It steers the meeting towards completion. An agenda also ensures that no issue is left unattended during the meeting. Generally, similar format for writing agenda is adopted by organizations. For example, first agenda item for most of the meetings is confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. Similarly, the last agenda item is any other matter with the permission of the chairperson. Rest of the agenda items are put on the basis of their priority. A little modification can be made in the standard format as per the requirement. Let's have a look at a sample agenda item. In this example, we can see that notification is like this. Agenda for the sixth meeting of the management committee to be held at 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 7, 2002 at first floor 86 Rani Road, Rewa. Now here are the agenda items, serial number 6.01. It is indicating that it is sixth meeting and first agenda item. Confirmation of minutes of the last meeting. Agenda item 2, Chairman's report. Agenda item 3, appointment of chief accountant. Agenda item 4, proposal for purchase of 2 delivery vans. Agenda item 5, problems in complaint handling mechanism. And last agenda item, that is agenda item 6, that is any other matter with the permission of the chairman. It should be signed by the secretary. Quorum refers to the minimum number of members out of all the members called that must attend the meeting in order to make the transactions of the meeting valid. If the quorum in the meeting is complete, then its proceedings may be considered as valid. As such, there is no fixed number for a quorum to be completed. The decision about the number of members for a quorum generally rests upon the committee. The objective of the quorum rule is to ensure transparency in the business during the meeting. Another purpose of quorum is to prevent members of the committee from abusing their power. Quorum also dictates the reasonable representation of members for a meeting. Any meeting conducted under the absence of quorum would be treated as unauthorized, and any resolution passed during that meeting stands null and void. The concept of quorum signifies the role of attendance in a meeting. A proper record of attendance is maintained for each meeting that certifies the completion of quorum and hence validity of the resolutions passed. Once information about the meeting is notified and agenda items distributed to all the eligible members, a standard procedure is being followed to conduct the meeting. The procedure states that first, the chairperson calls the meeting to order. It is equivalent to opening or starting of a meeting. Then, attendance is taken as per the prepared list of members, followed by minutes of previous meetings that needs to be approved. Those minutes are read before the members. The chairperson asks for any corrections. If not, minutes got approved as read. Then each agenda item is discussed one by one as per the sequence. It might include reports for information from various departments and committees. If any recommendation is sought, it is discussed and made subsequently. Then the chair asks for discussing any new business. It is followed by if any unfinished business is left over from previous meetings, the chair prepares a list of such items then discussed one by one. If members of the group wish to make any announcement in the interest of a group, a chance is provided to them by the chair. And finally, after discussing all agenda items, the chairperson declares adjournment of meeting with a vote of thanks. Minutes of the meeting are the official record of discussions and decisions at the meeting. The minutes of the meeting are generally written by the secretary in consultation with the chairperson. It is always good for a company to keep a record of minutes of meeting. In certain cases, it is mandatory under the law to maintain minutes of meeting. The minutes mention the main points of discussion and decisions taken thereof. The person drafting minutes of meeting should doubly check the facts and decisions before making it public. It is also advisable to circulate a pre-final draft of the minutes among the concerned members for their observations. Minutes become effective only when they have been read at the next meeting. Let's have a look on minutes of meeting format. Under this format, the first information that has to be provided is name of the department or unit or chapter. Now under the department, if a meeting is for marketing department, you have to put the name of the department, marketing. If it is interdisciplinary, then you have to put the middle level management. If you are doing for a particular production unit, you have to name the unit here. After that, you have to put the date, time and venue of the meeting. Remember, this date, time and venue must be the same as mentioned under the notice and on the day it is being held. The date, time and venue format has to be followed in this regard. Then list of all the members that are present during the meeting has to be mentioned. This can be verified with the attendance chart and it also constitutes the quorum. If any member is not able to attend the meeting, that member has to send an apology for not attending and that apology has to be read at the time of the meeting and that apology has to be quoted here. After that, reading and approval of minutes of previous meeting has to be done and is to be mentioned. After that, the first agenda item which is mentioned under the agenda notice has to be discussed. You have to put down all the discussion held in this regard and after that what are the decisions taken by the group members for that agenda item has to be quoted here. Same procedure is being followed for agenda item 2. Again you have to put down all the discussions held and what are the actions taken by the group members. After that, if there is any announcement from any of the member of the committee, that announcement can be made at this particular time, and that announcement has to be mentioned here. After that, chairperson can discuss various future agenda items. So all the future agenda items are mentioned here. After that, the chairperson can announce the date, time and venue for the next meeting. All the details are to be mentioned after the future agenda items under the heading next meeting. Finally, the document should be signatured by the secretary and the chairperson of the meeting. Let's have a look to an example for minutes of meeting. With this example, you will get a clear picture of how minutes of meetings looks like. When we look at this picture, we can easily identify that it mentions the heading of the company, then information about minutes, mentioning the time, date and venue of the meeting. It also mentions the member who are present, indicating the chairman and the members. It again mentions all the agenda items in sequence. Like here the agenda items are 6.01 to 6.06. Under each agenda item, the deliberations, discussions and decisions are to be mentioned. For example, under agenda item 6.01, which signifies confirmation of minutes of the last meeting, the decision is the minutes of the meeting held on January 10, 2002 were approved by the committee and signed by the chairman. Similarly, for agenda item 2, that is chairman's report, a detail has to be given. The chairman presented the annual report and appraised the committee members about the progress of organization during last quarter. He also mentioned the plans to be adopted for next quarter. Then for agenda item 3, appointment of chief accountant. For this agenda item, the discussions are reported. The secretary reported the burden on accounts department due to expansion of operations of the company. He proposed for appointment of a full-time chief accountant. After this proposal, a decision has been done and it has to be mentioned as a part of minutes of meeting. The committee approved the proposal and directed the secretary to initiate the appointment process at the earliest. Similarly, next agenda item has to be discussed and decision to be mentioned. The last agenda item, next meeting of management committee, you have to mention the information, that is, it was decided to hold the meeting of management committee on December 7, 2002 at the current venue. The secretary was directed to notify all the members accordingly. And generally you have to mention the meeting ended with a vote of thanks to the chair. So this is all about the format of minutes of meeting. For conducting a meeting, a proper seating arrangement is essential. A proper seating arrangement ensures smooth flow of communication and avoids confusion among the members. Seating arrangement has an impact on the participants and eventually on meeting's outcome. Each change in the arrangement changes the way participants will interact. So, it is important to select the seating arrangement carefully for serving the purpose of the meeting. There are some well-known meeting room layouts such as theatre style. In this style, seats or chairs are arranged in rows facing a stage area, and the attendees will act as an audience. This type of style is good for large groups when reading or writing are not required. The negative point of this style is there is no writing surface available and there is minimal group interaction. The next style is a classroom style. Under this style, rows of conference tables with chairs facing the front of a room are arranged. In this type of style, note-taking is possible, and this style is generally adopted when long sessions are expected and reference material is being used. The positive point of this style is A presenter can see all the participants and optimum space utilization is there. Again, the drawback is it offers minimal interactions among the audience. Next style is U-shaped style. Here the conference tables are set in the shape of letter U with chairs around the outside. It is suitable for board of director meetings or committee meetings wherein presentation is delivered. The pros of this style is it is offering better space availability, it is highly interactive and supports audio visual aids. While the negative aspect is it is suitable only for smaller groups. Another style is boardroom style. It is a rectangular, square or oval table setup with chairs around all sides and ends. It is good for board of director meetings, committee meetings or discussion groups. The positive is it offers optimum space and high interactivity. The negatives are it offers less scope for audiovisual presentation and it is not suitable for larger groups. Another style is hollow square style. Here the square conference tables are arranged in a square or rectangle, leaving the center open. Seating is placed around the outside of the tables. The positive of hollow square style is it is good for smaller groups and offers high level of interactivity. Each style is having its pros and cons. Before deciding a particular format, the organizer of a meeting must know the purpose of the meeting, how many people are attending the meeting, positions of each member, requirements of the audiovisual aids, expected duration of the meeting, etc. Such information becomes handy in deciding a suitable layout for conducting a meeting. We can better understand the various layout options with the help of this picture. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. By far, we know the importance of meeting for any organization and the purposes it serves. We know that meeting is an effective tool to get solution for a problem. You have to always ensure that the issue for which meeting is being called is worth for calling a meeting. Because if you are calling a meeting for any issue that doesn't serve the purpose, it discourages the member and finally demotivates them. Always do your homework as a member, as a chairperson. Always go through the agenda items before attending a meeting. You have to be very much careful about all the do's and don'ts of attending a meeting. If you are a chairperson, patience is the key for smooth conduct of a meeting. You are having a responsibility to take all the people along to get to the conclusion of a meeting and to serve the purpose of a meeting. You have to act as a steering member of the committee. Also, for conducting a meeting, you have to create a balance between autocratic style and the participative style of the leadership. Also, doubly check the agenda items and minutes of meeting before circulating to other members and making the document public. Always attend a meeting with positive frame of mind. With that frame of mind, we can always provide better solution to the issues at hand. We must also understand that seating arrangement during a meeting influences the outcome of a meeting. So, always choose an appropriate seating arrangement to facilitate the interaction among the members of the group so that a better solution to the issue can be come out. Thank you.